we talk about marketing or branding, there's the internal and external. But that really applies to so many things. And as a performer, as an actor, I studied up the road here, up a little north at the Second City in Chicago, and later in LA, continuing my acting career. But a lot of the things that I learned were about how do I come across? What's my presence? When I taught acting classes, I would tell the students the audition starts when you walk in the room, not when you start your lines. So we have this presence, we have this energy that we're giving off. And where does that come from? Well, it comes from, a lot of it just comes from what we're thinking in our minds. What's the narrative that we have? What's the self-talk that we have going on in our heads? And that will determine how we come across. Is it empowering? Is it filled with purpose and meaning? Or is it, I'm not really so sure about this new job title I have, or my ability to lead a team, or these types of things. And that will really influence how you come across. So it's important. So as an actor, the question, you hear the actor, the stereotypical thing, what's my motivation? I mean, and it's really a good question to ask yourself, whether before an interview, before a client meeting, before a team meeting, what's the motivation behind it? What's intention? Intention will drive it. Intention is like energy driving you toward an objective, and I think make it powerful. Make it powerful for yourself to come across in that way that you want to come across. It really does influence your presence, your energy, your charisma, your even executive presence, the it factor. What are all these things? It's just kind of like, what is it? It's really the state of mind and how you're showing up. So just to build on that idea of presence in the inner piece, and the techniques that I learned as an actor on how to connect to how I'm feeling. And then it's the message. How am I connecting to my message? What's my script? How am I? Well, I've never worked in a gas station, so how would I? Well, okay, but I did have a job where it was a little more okay. Let me transfer that emotion, that feeling into that. Okay, now I can instead of just saying words, because if you're just saying words, it's coming from your brain. But the idea with acting is to have the emotion drive those words. So if you're connected with what you're saying, if it has meaning, then that emotion is delivering those words, and it just comes across as more authentic and meaningful. That you have more engagement. So when you have a team that consists of multi-generation, right? So I'm Gen X. There's boomers and millennials, and what are some other ones? Is there a Y? Is Y or Z? Does Y or Z equal millennials? See, this is Y is millennial, and Z is younger than them. See how the greatest generation. We're going to do an exercise, and for that exercise, I need a couple volunteers, 2 volunteers. Well, okay, so we have Luke, and we have Abby. Okay, so Luke, what is a stereotype of a millennial? Oops,
doesn't play well in teams, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Now, that's not my impression.
Okay. So
I have a wonderful group of millennials who works with me.
So look, can you repeat that one more time? I know, at the risk of getting injured. Okay. Yeah, exactly.
So millennials, they tend to be self-centered. They don't play well in teams. They're more about digital communication than verbal communication.
Okay.
That kind of thing.
Okay. Thank you. And so, Abby, what would be stereotype? And you're classified. You're a baby boomer. So, what is your perception, or what are some stereotypes of a baby boomer?
I would say very hardworking, the baby boomers, loyal, traditional, perhaps sometimes close-minded. Maybe they don't use all their vacation days.
Oh! Got a quality of life thing happening here. Okay, this is awesome. Okay, now what I would like to do is I want you to embody a millennial. You embody a baby boomer. Okay, so you're going to take on that persona of those things that you just described. Let that influence you. Let that influence you. So in improv, we usually get a couple suggestions for the actors to get started. So where are they? Where are Abby and Luke right now? They're at a coffee shop. Thank you. Okay, what's the name of this coffee shop? What is it? Central Perk? Okay, you guys are at the Central Perk coffee shop. And what's their relationship? They're friends, of course. Okay, so they're friends. So they're friends, and then as far as like, are they both patrons of the coffee shop? Do we have? Okay, you're standing in line for the morning rush. Okay, so you're at the Central Perk coffee shop, standing in line for the morning rush. I want you to embody the millennial. You embody the baby boomer, and if we could get one more mic, real quick. So I'm gonna let you have this, Abby, okay. And okay, thank you. All right, it's like I feel like I'm in a race here or something. All right. Okay, so, and action, and I might give you some adjustments or some side coaching as we go along here. So it's the morning rush coffee shop. Okay.
Okay. Do you know if they take checks?
You actually waiting in line? I've already ordered.
Oh, what is this?
Yeah, it's the app for the coffee shop. We can order right now.
Testing. This is gold. Okay.
It's an app. A what?
Yeah. You know that thing your grandson shows you?
Hold on a second. What button do I use for that? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. My grandson, you just flip it open.
Well, I've ordered. What would you like? I've ordered it.
I just want a coffee. Nothing. I don't need anything
wait a minute,
fancy.
My girlfriend's texting me. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
She wants a coffee too.
Oh, that's great that you have a girlfriend.
She'll be here in 15 or 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. That was excellent. Well done. So hold on. I'm sorry. Just for, okay, that was very well played, very well done. And so what did that feel like playing a millennial, Luke?
It was pretty good. Yeah?
Really good? Yeah. How'd that feel playing a baby boomer?
It was great.
So with improv and this type of, when I come in and do like a team building type of thing, the idea is to put yourself in the other person's shoes. And in the introduction, another word that was brought up was empathy. And if you can maybe even poke fun or make light of a few of these stereotypes and just relate to each other as people, and even embrace those differences, I think that's a good thing. So, I mean, do we any differences in how you perceive the other generation? Was there anything that happened to you? Was there anything profound that happened?
No. Just about. I mean, as I said earlier, I work with a great team that's very diverse, from greater generation all the way down to Zs, and so I get a chance to interact with a great number of generational stereotypes, and I have the great pleasure of working with wonderful individuals. So they all represent themselves very well in each of their generations.
All right, thank you. And then yourself, as far as working with baby boomers, do you experience that at all, or what's your workplace like?
I've always had a pretty pleasant experience working with baby boomers, but I do think millennials are misunderstood quite a bit. So, coming from a millennial,
yeah, absolutely.
So I take that back. One profound thing: I lost 37 vacation days in December.
Abby, Luke, thank you so much. Excellent. All right, 8 minutes. Okay, let's do one more. Now let's talk about different departments. Let's do an interdepartmental exercise here. And so that might be IT, marketing. It's the only ones that are coming up to finance, account services. Okay, so you're in IT. Okay, so what would be some? Okay, so IT. What is your perception of IT? What is like stereotype? What do you think about when you think about IT?
In the office, in a cube.
Let's go a little there.
In the office, in a cube, 8 to 5. Troubleshooter.
Okay. What else? Just like kind of like the type of person.
Oh, that's vague. I mean, that's random. Men.
Yeah.
Poor men. Not very good shoes.
Nerdy?
Nerdy, yeah. Okay,
Okay.
so more like the computer and the IT and yeah.
Okay. And
Like the Geek Squad.
Geek Squad.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
What do you think about when you hear marketing?
Questions. They want clarity on everything. They are fashionable, not nerdy. Excellent communicators.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to play marketing. Okay, you're marketing, and you're IT.
Okay.
Okay. And so where are they? Let's get a location. What's that? The water cooler. Excellent. The water cooler. And but instead of water, what comes out of it? What is it? Long Island iced teas?
So we had to play drums.
You're at the water cooler, Long Island iced teas, pour out of there. And what's the name of this company where they work? What's the name of the company? Cheers? Cheers. And what does Cheers do? It's a brewery. Okay, you guys are at Cheers. It's a brewery. You're at the water cooler that pours Long Island iced teas. This is how improv goes, by the way. And so if you can just kind of take on those characteristics, embody that stereotype, if you will, of IT and then marketing. Okay.
Hey, Shelly. Did you see my request to work on our website?
Well,
I saw some pages were down, and
well, could I get some more to drink?
Sure, go ahead.
I have a list of requests, and I'm trying to get to that list.
Okay, I understand. And so, can I bump myself to the top of that? Because I know everyone else's thing is important, but mine is really important.
I'm so busy today with checking my email and dotting my
Put your
T's.
glasses on, and maybe even do a few of these things there. Yeah.
Dotting my T's, and I just really am like a slow Loris.
Okay. Can I write it for you and tell you everything I wanted to say and what I wanted to do and then just send it to you and then you just do it? Because I know what to do.
Have you ever?
I just need you to like push the button.
Have
But I can do it.
All right,
Have you-
awesome. If we're looking at multi-generational or cross departments, it does. I mean, to have an opus, honest conversation, and really, I guess the objective would be to have some empathy and understanding toward those people. If you look at them as people rather than as a department, some connection can happen there. I need 4 people for this last one. Now we're going to get into this innovation. How can you now innovate? Okay, you're going to work as an ensemble, and whoever I have the mic in front of is the storyteller. Okay, and it's just we're telling one story, and even if I cut you off in the middle of a sentence, you would finish that sentence. Okay, so we're telling all the same story, and we're going to see how we can collaborate or innovate together as an ensemble. Okay, so we have Jennifer, Natalie, Jerry, and Amy. Thank you. All right, what is the, first of all, oh my God. So the title of a story that's never been told, Keith. What's a story that's never been told before? Just give me a title.
Any title of...
Yeah, just make up a, what would be the, what's the name of this story that they're about to tell?
What'd you say? Sally went to town.
Sally went to town. This is going to be interesting. And if by town, okay. Okay, so I want you guys to come up a little bit here and get a little closer. Okay, Sally went to town. Okay, so just think of, so it's like the, you know, is there a protagonist? Is there something that comes up that's a conflict, something like? I'm whispering and I have this lav mic on me. Okay, so okay, go. You're like, okay. We now present Sally went to town.
Oh God, I know.
No, I'll hold it.
Oh, okay.
So you don't even have to worry about that.
Okay, Sally went to town and no one was there. Oh, keep going.
It's like, I'm done, and that's it.
That's it. Sally went to town and no one was there. It was just vacant. She was walking down the street, wondering where everybody was.
What had happened was there was a big shoe store on the next town down, and Sally decided to get all of her friends and then go shoe shopping. And since all the fellas wanted to go where all the girls were, they followed her shoe shopping.
But she went to town and saw that there was nobody there, and she thought that she was either dreaming or something awful had happened.
And she freezes. So she finds the shoe store, and she walks in, and there's like zombies everywhere.
And so then she found Daryl, and Daryl came and started shooting zombies with his sword thing.
But then then Sally found their sword and she got all Michonne on everybody and started chopping people's heads off. And while she was chopping people's heads off, she went.
Oh, Sally. Then she picked up the rest of the shoes because she wasn't able to go shoe shopping earlier and hid them because she thought she could trade them for.
So she takes the shoes and she's walking down the street, and all of these random zombies are coming, and then she starts using the shoes as weapons.
And takes the heel and it hits one in the head and then another one.
And then she starts putting the shoes on the zombies just for fashion show.
And now the zombies can't chase her because they can't walk in heels. And so
I'll find an ending here.
Right? And so Daryl, is that the boyfriend's name? Yeah. Daryl walks up behind her and like gives her this great big hug. And it's like, hey, honey, how's it going? And she's just standing there and she's like, what just happened?
And he said, remember that drink I gave you? It had a little something in it, and this has all been a dream.
It's all been a dream. Very nice. Thank you so much. You have to do yes and. In improv, we have yes and. Building on ideas. It's accepting the idea and then building on it. And sometimes it's very hard. And I'm sure if we could have asked everybody, all the storytellers, I wanted the story to go this way. I wanted the story to go that way. I knew zombies was going to come up. How did you feel about that? Well, you had to accept it and build on it. So when we're collaborating, when we're innovating, a lot of times there are things that you might not like or you might have a viewpoint around. But the key is taking from the improv school of thought of yes and, try to get your mind in a way, in the mode of, okay, yes, and build on it. And just really explore those options instead of maybe shutting things down. So in your next meeting, have an awareness of your mind. What are you thinking about? Are you really embracing those ideas and building on those ideas? Are you waiting for your turn to talk? Are you truly listening? Are you actively listening? That's another thing that was happening up here. There's that active listening that has to happen to build on the story. If they weren't listening, how would they have built on that story? So this was a really quick overview of improv and storytelling, and thank you so much.